We now turn to Camilla, the Queen Consort, who recently gave a rare and revealing interview about her life with King Charles and how she has endured relentless criticism over the decades. For years, the British royal family has maintained a careful image of unity, smiles at public events, polite handshakes, choreographed balcony appearances. But beneath that polished exterior, tensions have simmered for years, concealed behind palace walls. Now, those tensions have exploded into one of the most personal and unprecedented royal crises in modern memory. The spark, a closed-door royal strategy meeting that devolved into a heated confrontation between Queen Camilla and Catherine, Princess of Wales. According to multiple insider sources, the clash was sudden, personal, and deeply emotional. What was supposed to be a discussion about upcoming royal engagements turned into a furious verbal battle. Witnesses say voices were raised, accusations hurled, and in the end, Catherine left the room in tears. What followed was even more shocking. When Prince William learned what had transpired, including the harsh and reportedly cruel remarks Camilla had made toward his wife, he made a bold and historic move. In a private but permanent decision, Prince William banned Queen Camilla from attending any engagements involving his wife or their children. She would no longer share the royal stage with the Wales family. No joint public appearances, no shared holidays, no more intimate family moments. Camilla, though still Queen Consort, was now completely cut off from William, Catherine, and their children. This kind of action is unheard of in modern royal history. Even in the wake of Prince Andrew's scandals, no such personal exclusion was ever issued. But this time it wasn't about politics or public disgrace, it was deeply personal. Sources close to the family say the feud between Camilla and Catherine had been simmering for over a decade, building slowly through backhanded comments, jealousy, and perceived slights. But no one, not even longtime royal staff, expected the conflict to erupt so violently. King Charles is said to be devastated, torn between his loyalty to his wife and the realization that he may have permanently fractured his relationship with his eldest son. Meanwhile, Camilla is reportedly humiliated, stripped of her proximity to the next generation of royals. She now finds herself isolated within the very institution she fought for decades to join. And yet, through all the chaos, Princess Catherine has remained silent, graceful, dignified, continuing her duties without drama and earning even deeper public respect for it. To the world, Camilla and Catherine always appeared civil. Photos show polite smiles, the occasional shared laugh, and formal appearances side by side. But those close to the palace have long whispered that the truth was far different. Camilla, forever branded as the other woman in the Charles-Diana story, had struggled for years to gain public affection. Catherine, by contrast, was adored from the start, a commoner turned princess with a flawless public image, a loving marriage, and the unwavering adoration of the British people. And that, insiders say, is what Camilla could never accept. From the very beginning, she is said to have viewed Catherine with a mix of suspicion and disdain. Former palace aides recall Camilla mocking Catherine's middle-class manners and scoffing at the Middleton family's party supply business, calling it tacky nonsense. One royal source remembered Camilla snidely commenting, "She knows how to smile for the cameras, I'll give her that." But Catherine, ever the diplomat, never reacted publicly. She focused on her role, her family, and her growing influence as the future queen. Still, the personal jabs took their toll, and matters worsened when Camilla began wielding more power following Charles's ascension to the throne. With her new title as Queen Consort, she started bringing her own children and grandchildren into the royal fold, something that shocked many within the palace. Some believed she was trying to build a parallel dynasty, inserting her family into royal affairs in ways traditionally reserved for blood relatives. This deeply disturbed Catherine, who had spent years protecting her children's privacy and status within the monarchy. Things came to a head when reports surfaced that Camilla had fought to have her own grandchildren take precedence in royal ceremonies even above Prince Harry and Meghan's children. This, along with an ongoing whisper campaign in the press, led by journalists close to Camilla, painted Catherine as cold, overly controlled, and distant. Some headlines even compared Camilla's worldly wisdom to Catherine's so-called perfectionist polish, prompting public backlash and palace damage control. Yet through it all, William and Catherine remained silent, focused, composed. They avoided scandal and refused to engage until Camilla took things too far. Private efforts at reconciliation had occurred over the years, small gestures, joint events, and meetings behind the scenes, but they never stuck. Camilla purportedly resented that Catherine had won over the public, and Catherine, for all her grace, had grown tired of playing the game. The breaking point came during what should have been a simple planning session at Clarence House. The meeting involved King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Catherine. The conversation was routine at first, scheduling state visits, assigning family members to public duties. But when a joint appearance involving the four of them was proposed, Camilla allegedly interrupted. With a dismissive look, she said, "Do we really need Catherine there? Sometimes she has a propensity to make everything about herself." The room fell silent. What followed was an explosive exchange that shattered years of diplomacy. Catherine reportedly responded with sharp but composed words. William stood by her side. Voices were raised. Charles attempted to mediate but was unable to prevent the collapse. Catherine left in tears. William, furious, later made his decision. Camilla was out. Since then, palace insiders say the atmosphere has been icy. King Charles has reportedly tried to mend the rift behind closed doors, but William is said to be resolute. He sees this not as a political maneuver, but as a moral stand, a defense of his wife and family, and the public. They've made their choice to. Social media erupted with support for Catherine. Headlines praised her dignity and poise. Polls showed a sharp drop in public sympathy for Camilla. For many, this wasn't just a private feud, it was a symbolic reckoning. A clash between two visions of royalty, one built on humility and service, the other rooted in survival and image. The palace, as always, has refused to comment officially, but the signs are clear. The royal stage is being redrawn, and Queen Camilla, once a central figure in the monarchy's rebirth, now finds herself sidelined in the reign of its future king and queen. The room went silent. Kate, surprised, asked Camilla for clarification. Camilla reportedly smirked and added, "People come to see the king, not a fashion show." Aides squirmed uncomfortably in their seats, hoping not to react. However, the tension was unmistakable. Kate, poised but visibly shaken, responded calmly and precisely, "I am not here for attention. I'm here for duty." Camilla was not done. She leaned forward to deliver the line that broke everything, as Diana was. I guess. The room froze. That name Diana was a red line. Everyone in the royal household was aware of this. Camilla invoked it with a sneer, in front of William, which was beyond outrageous. It was a direct and personal assault. Kate stood up, her voice unsteady, and just uttered, "That woman will never speak to me again." She left the room, leaving behind a startled quiet. Moments later, William followed her out, his jaw tight and his eyes filled with rage. What happened next is still being debated by insiders. But sources claimed that William addressed Camilla immediately, informing her unequivocally that she had crossed an unforgivable line. Charles attempted to intervene, but his words went unheard. "You have disrespected my wife. You have disrespected my mother. Don't expect to see my family again." The meeting ended in complete collapse. Staff members who were present characterized the mood as radioactive. Phones rang incessantly. Advisors hurried to rewrite planned press releases. Event coordinators began rearranging positions for the next royal visit. One senior assistant admitted, "We all knew this day was coming. We didn't expect it to blow up like that." Back at Kensington Palace, Catherine is said to have broken down privately, not from weakness, but from the sheer weight of years of perseverance, biting her tongue and rising above. This time, the wound felt too personal. William understood that, as a husband, father, and future king, he had a responsibility to act not only for Kate, but also for Diana's legacy and the monarchy's image. This was not palace gossip. This was wartime, and the monarchy would never be the same again. Prince William has always been regarded as the monarchy's steady hand, a calm, trained successor capable of weathering any storm with poise. However, in the hours after Camilla and Catherine's explosive confrontation, that reputation gave way to something even more powerful: resolute, unforgiving leadership. Because when it came to his wife, his mother's memory, and his children's future, William made it clear there are boundaries that must be respected. After soothing Catherine and conferring with his closest aides, William made a decision that shocked the royal family. He issued a direct order through the palace's internal command. Camilla was forbidden from any and all engagements with his wife or children. There would be no combined events, no overlapping tours, no shared holiday appearances, and most importantly, no formal or casual connection between Camilla and the Wales family. According to one report, he was specific: this was not a momentary situation. It was not a cooling-off phase. It was permanent. The message spread across royal staff with extraordinary speed and clarity. Private secretaries were directed to start redrawing event calendars. Senior aides were instructed to reroute invitations and reconsider Jubilee appearances. The palace press team, taken completely off guard, was instructed to prepare for a logistical realignment code for a quiet royal exile. According to sources, William's tone was icy but concentrated. He made no public appearances, gave no interviews, and expected no spectacle. But behind closed doors, his words were devastating. "She humiliated my wife. She included my mother's name in it. Camilla will no longer be a part of our life." The significance of those remarks cannot be overstated. Since the days of Prince Philip, no senior royal had taken such intentional action against another. And William didn't need a crown to do it. His authority came from public trust, not title. He and Catherine had earned that trust through a decade of dignity, discipline, and self-control. To be clear, this was not a legally binding prohibition. Camilla keeps her title, her ceremonial role, and her place alongside Charles. But William did something more strategic and potentially more damaging. He cut her out of the future. Privately, Charles was devastated. According to sources, He attempted to contact William multiple times, receiving either silence or terse replies. The king realized the damage had been done, and possibly worse, he knew the public would likely support William. Indeed, within 4 hours of the decision leaking to royal reporters, headlines exploded. William exiles Camilla from the Wales circle. Princess Catherine safe after explosive royal clash. Future king draws the line. Camilla shunned. Social media erupted. With support, hashtags like #ProtectCatherine and #NotOurQueen began trending. Royal watchers praised William for finally holding Camilla accountable. One commentator said it best, "William has shown us who is in charge now without shouting or scandal, but with cold, clean action." And with that, the monarchy's future transformed not through abdication or scandal, but a single sentence from a son. Camilla had not simply lost her temper that day. She lost her ability to influence the future of the crown. For King Charles, the feud between Camilla and Catherine struck at the heart of everything he had battled to protect: his monarchy, his marriage, and his legacy. As events spiraled out of control, the man so eager to modernize the monarchy was forced to confront a tragic truth. He could